So today I'm going to talk about some interesting details about how Russia's new plan to beat SpaceX might change everything. Russia is recalling its 1953 Luna 2 moon landing, which was a triumphant achievement for the country. The United States, however, was at the center of attention when it landed the first humans in a comeback. It's yet another sign of the times that Roscosmos has decided not to repeat history by becoming the first space agency to use nuclear-powered spacecraft in order to help Elon Musk achieve his goal of taking mankind to Mars. Even though the plan might sound unrealistic, SpaceX is currently the only company or space agency capable of sending humans to the Red Planet. So how does Roscosmos intend to fulfill its mission? Also, if it's to employ a technology never used before to revolutionize deep space travel, how are they going to do that? Moreover, how does it stand up if compared to the events of the past and the realities of the present? As part of today's video, we'll first talk about how the Soviet space agency legacy failed after the USSR split up. Then we'll discuss Roscosmos' plans for the use of nuclear reactor technology. Then, we'll analyze the development of space agencies, companies, and technology in Russia and how it's grown rapidly in the last few years. Then by the end, we'll talk about how it compares to SpaceX. First, let's find out what this Soviet space legacy challenge is all about. On September 13, 1959, the Soviets conducted their first moon mission, Luna 2, landing on the moon. As a matter of fact, both capitalism and communism participated in the space race, as did the Soviet Union and the United States. While the crew of the Luna 2 may find it hard to believe, since then, science and technology have advanced significantly in the aerospace sector. There are also private space companies based in the United States that have made significant advances, such as SpaceX, Blue Origin, Rocket Lab, Virgin Galactic, and others. Even though this may not be a compelling enough reason to encourage Russians to challenge themselves, the past achievements of the Russian people should not be forgotten. The country's interest in colonizing Mars could also be influenced by the huge financial advantages that come with discovering uncharted, free of regulations territory. The international community would likely back such a project as well, especially if it would also receive robust support from the international space community. Having the bragging rights to be the first nation to land on the moon and also Mars is a reason alone to be satisfied with the hype. Even though the Soviet Union can't be the first to reach the moon, they might be able to reach Mars this time around. Did you know that nuclear-powered rockets are the means of achieving this goal? It differs slightly from what companies like SpaceX are doing, as they burn fossil fuel methane and propel themselves with conventional combustion. The fact remains, however, that Elon Musk's vision of sending humans to Mars is more a matter of his vision than a matter of patriotic duty, so he would probably give Russia a hard time in this regard. It was in 1991 that the Soviet Union obtained its device, after which Roscosmos emerged as a successor Russian space agency, which was likened to NASA. In contrast, the country was not able to capitalize on its lead in the industry because it failed to encourage private companies, such as SpaceX, to work on reusable rocket technology. But lately, that started to change. It's because of nuclear-powered space travel. And why is this the case? It's because it's said that nuclear energy is the best way to travel through deep space, since it's not dependent on solar power. As a result, smaller, more maneuverable, and customizable spacecraft will be produced that will not be powered by just any type of power source. The amount of energy generated by solar cells is negligible in comparison to this. Nuclear power is without a doubt one of the cleanest and most environmentally friendly energy options, as there are no fossil fuels being burned and there are no greenhouse gas emissions. Historically, conventional nuclear stations have been very poorly regarded due to horrific disasters such as Chernobyl. As for Musk, he disagrees with this common perception and thinks that modern nuclear power plants are extremely safe, and there's a way to make them continue to be so. It must be taken into consideration that he's talking about fission, not fusion. So the process of fission happens when a neutron collides with an atom, causing it to be broken down and to release energy. In addition, this is how conventional nuclear reactors work. So let's take a look at what the Russian government does in terms of developing space technology. Following a lack of precious time, private Russian companies have started to form in the last few years, either to work for the country's place in the space race or to support related activities. This includes the Arsenal Design Bureau, which is working on developing and operating space complexes and spacecraft, as well as developing and creating Navy artillery mounts and launchers. Recently, the pace of these developments has been absolutely phenomenal and has far surpassed what is currently going on in the United States. And the Soyuz program is one example of this, which will be able to propel interplanetary rockets with the use of nuclear propulsion. The Director of Science and Advanced Programs, Alexander Blashenko, described the goals of the program and stated it will take 15 months to complete the mission. Then, together with the Russian Academy of Sciences, the project team has already begun calculating the ballistics and payloads. There's already a contract between the Arsenal Design Bureau and Roscosmos. This is a private company that is tasked with designing the transport and energy modules of the nuclear space tug. It's been noted by Blashenko that the South Pole lunar base will be equipped with specialized equipment and telescopes to monitor comets, asteroids, and other celestial bodies that may pose a threat to the Earth. Roscosmos plans to use the site as a testing ground for future space exploration projects. In the meantime, robots will take care of many tasks while humans will handle the remaining ones. So then what's going on between Russia and SpaceX? SpaceX plans to send the first uncrewed Starship to Mars in 2024, as well as a tourist mission around the Moon in 2023. It's largely due to SpaceX's use of nuclear power instead of methane that Russian agencies steer clear of SpaceX, due to the fact that Russian kerosene used to be the standard fuel for the industry, and even Musk's company used it. Nevertheless, we know Musk's SpaceX later switched to methane. Roscosmos, on the other hand, intends to use nuclear power since it's a better alternative for electricity generation, speed, and cleanliness. There's been progress on this idea since 2009, but it's been nearly half a century since it was realized that such a method could be useful for peaceful purposes such as intergalactic travel. However promising the technology appears, it's true it hasn't been applied till now. And if Russia is successful in doing so, it'll be an incredible demonstration, since past experiences have not been so positive. But even if it is successful, SpaceX is already a technological leader since it has managed to develop reusable rockets and spacecraft. The company has been working on a fully reusable launch vehicle called Starship. Despite the fact that Russia has always been a big player in the space race, it's lagged behind because there are fewer private companies interested. We all know that the situation has changed since then, and nuclear energy is now being used to power the country's rockets. That's because it's safer, more powerful, and more reliable than previous technology. Musk has never been in favor of the use of this technology, believing it to be as reliable as fission when used properly. As a result of these recent developments in the Soyuz program, the program will now run for 15 months. And as part of future advancements, a lunar base will also be built on the South Pole. It's hoped that Jupiter can be reached by 2030. This would certainly pose a great challenge to SpaceX, but Musk's company brings a wealth of expertise to the table. Does this move by Russia seem to be a countershot to SpaceX? Or is Musk already a step ahead of Russia with the plans he's already started? That's all for this video about Elon Musk's SpaceX, and thank you for watching. If you'd like to receive updates about him, make sure you click the subscribe and bell icon.